Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy Pumpkin Picks back with another video. And I know it's been, I think, 3 days. This is the first time in a while that I did not post in 3 days. But I had an injury playing soccer. I think I tore my ACL. But I'm going to push that to the side. And let's get right on to the world football news. This is the first time I'm covering the transfer window. Actually, yeah, I didn't cover the December transfer window. But let's get right into this. And yeah, I figured out how to do a scene change. So... oh, fuck. I start off with YouTube. Oh, my God. I just ruined up the whole trajectory. Anyways, let's start off with the news about Xabi Alonso going to Real Madrid. Look, it's pretty much guaranteed. I actually think no matter what happened this season, even if Madrid would have won the treble, I know it would have been crazy to say, but even if Madrid had won the treble, I still think Ancelotti would have been asked to leave. Like, his time with Madrid has come to an end, and it's honestly disrespectful. The amount of disrespect that Ancelotti has been getting is insane, because this dude is the most decorated manager of all Real Madrid history, and he's won major tournaments and has been very successful with other clubs. So people are saying that he doesn't know what he's doing, and I'm just like, dude, like, he's arguably top 3 greatest managers of all time. But the thing is that if you look at the other 2 greatest managers of all time, which you could say, or the other 2 is Sir Alex Ferguson and Pep Guardiola. What do 2 of them have in common? 2 of them is that they are man managers. So I don't think anyone will really say that Sir Alex Ferguson is this great tactician, whatever, however you call it. He's not. He's average. I mean, I didn't see much of him, to be honest. I've been watching soccer for over close to 2 decades, but I didn't see much of Sir Alex Ferguson. And but what I do know about him is that he was a great man manager, and I think in this day and age, you can't really be a man manager. There's not, you have to have a system. You have to have a plan, and players have to execute, because there's too much tactics in this day and age. Like, tactics are taking over the game, and people are complaining about that 24/7, saying that, oh, players aren't allowed to have the creativity anymore. Well, now you have a manager that does that, but I would agree, he does it a little bit too much. You have players like Vinicius, you have players like Mbappe, you have players like sometimes even Bellingham, even though I think he a lot of his work goes unnoticed. But you have a lot of players in this team that just kind of don't put in their shift. And everyone, if you want to be successful, you have to put in your shift. Look, you look at Messi when he was younger. You look at Ronaldo when he was younger, when they were younger. They put in their shifts. Yeah, they weren't this extreme pressing or defensive people, but like, you look at those Ronaldo videos, he put in his shift. I think the amount of defensive, like, he didn't do the most defensive work rate, but for the amount that he gets, like, trash talk, saying that, oh, he doesn't fight for his players, like, he would defend, and he would run as much as it was necessary. He would do whatever it takes for his side to win, because he was a winner at the end of the day. But I mean, yeah, he had an ego to him. But that being said, I do think it is a time for Xabi Alonso to come to Madrid and for Ancelotti to leave. Ancelotti, his era is just gone. It's just passed by. And I think even last year Madrid got a little lucky. But the thing that everyone has to realize is that this isn't going to be Xabi Alonso's team. This isn't even Ancelotti's team. This is Florentino Perez's team. Like, he makes every transfer how he wants, and he gets the player that he thinks is basically the newest fancy car. He gets everyone who he thinks, he gets them at a cheap price, and he gets them like a guaranteed prospect. That's why Madrid, like, you look at their squad and you just think to yourself, how can this team be so bad this year? They literally have stacked world-class players from top to bottom. But the thing is, yeah, every one of their players individually might be good, but they just have a couple missing pieces, and a couple important pieces last year, like Toni Kroos, like Carvajal, like Nacho, who is a player like who could play anywhere really, and Antonio Cruz, he was the arguably one of the greatest creators the game has seen. I might be overhyping this, but this is just my opinion, dude. Like you can't just not replace these players just because you got Mbappe, and I think the right call should have been, yeah, all right. I mean, it's so hard. I'm rambling now, but it's so hard to even critique Ancelotti about not giving the younger players any space to shine. But the truth is that every single game has been tight. You know, if you look at Arda Güler last year when he was playing for Madrid and when he started shining at the end of the season, he started shining once Madrid had already won the league and once basically they were playing, they were giving so much minutes to the younger players. But now Madrid can't offer all these big players or all these younger players all these minutes. And the worst part is that when you have someone that you need to sub out, you know, you're gonna sub out Vinicius for Arda Güler. Like, as much as I hate on Vinicius, he's still that player. Like, he's still that big name player that has capability of doing stuff. But hopefully now with Xabi Alonso's system, I think it's all but guaranteed that he comes. Hopefully that can prove something. And I've been hearing a lot of comments and pundits, especially from ESPN, say that wherever Xabi Alonso goes, that's where Wirtz is gonna go, or whatever his name is, Wirtz. I think that, yeah, I mean he's has links to Madrid for a while, but do Madrid need him? Is he even in midfield? I don't watch the Bundesliga. I do not watch the Bundesliga because up until recently, the Bundesliga has been trash. The only team that has been competing for that has been Bayern Leverkusen because of Xabi Alonso. I don't respect Dortmund. If you guys watch my videos, you guys already know this, but yeah. Xabi Alonso, I think he's a player to come. If he comes with Wirtz, and Wirtz could play as a creative midfielder, I think that's ultimately going to affect Arda Güler. He should leave after that. But whatever's good for Madrid. I love Arda Güler. I want him to stay and be successful in Madrid. But you know, if that's Xabi Alonso's players and that's gonna get him the most success, then yeah, I think Xabi Alonso is gonna be guaranteed success in Madrid. Moving on, because I've kind of rambled too much about this dude. Besides Xabi Alonso, the player or the coach that everyone has been talking about has been Klopp. And look, Klopp is I think I would prefer Klopp over Xabi Alonso. I mean, look at what Klopp's done. But and actually, you look at all these players that are in Madrid, and during Klopp's era, they were Madrid's main competition with these players. Camavinga, they had links of him going to Liverpool. You had Tuchemeni, they had links of him going to Liverpool. You had Valverde. At one point, Klopp wanted him to go to Liverpool. And even Mbappe, although I never really bought too much into that Mbappe hype. And then, yeah. And now you have Trent coming in. Like, these are all players that at one point Klopp wanted. So maybe he could see a system there. But I just think it's too much out of reach. He has a good contract where he's at right now in RB Leipzig. And on top of that, this dude probably has so much beef with Madrid, and I just don't see him going into that like big club mindset, because at the end of the day, no matter how big of a coach you are, like you don't demand respect from Madrid. Like you might be able to demand respect from Liverpool because they are not as big as Madrid, or from any other club in the world, but not from Madrid. So I don't know if he would want to allow himself to be to have the possibility of being disrespected like that, because he is a very prideful person. But we'll see. I think Xabi Alonso is the more reality pick from the two. Klopp is a sexy pick, and I would love to see how he does with two lazy players like Vinicius and Mbappe. So, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't. And then moving on to the next one, we're only keeping up with Fabrizio Romano post, and this is not the post that I wanted to look at. The post that I wanted to look at was Cuti Romero. I thought his name was Guti Romero. Well, I guess Cuti. I don't know. Maybe I had a typo, but he's reportedly with this comment that he did, where he basically wants to play in Spain. He basically just confirmed that he's leaving Tottenham this season. And honestly, he's a good player. He's a very good defender. I rate his defending skills. He should want to leave that trash club Spurs. Daniel Levy ruins Spurs. If I was a player like Son, I'm like, dude, Son, why did you just waste your whole career in Spurs? Like, yeah, you were a great player and you could have got some trophies. Now you didn't get shit. So, I think him going to Atletico Madrid would be a very good signing from Atletico Madrid. And I mean, you have players like Santi Jimenez, who's getting old, and honestly, I never really even rated Santi Jimenez like that. He was a big downgrade compared to his old country teammate Diego Godin. And I think he's actually Guti Romero actually has a lot of similarities defensively as Diego Godin, where he's just that gritty Argentinian. Even though Godin is from Uruguay, he's just that gritty defender that's gonna put in a couple headers. So yeah, that's the video for today. I haven't made a video in a couple days. Again, I'm dealing with the injury. I'm hoping that it's not the injury I think it is, but that's just a little bit of my life. So let's switch back and let's do the transition. So guys, Pumpkin Picks out.